being at my neighbor's house, and he was showing me all this like electronic music that was like, to me, I was like, this is terrible. Like good. Modest Mouse is the best. Something else is reality, but they're living in some other reality in their own mind. I feel like everyone's living in a different reality in their own mind. She's just a ball of light, you know, a ball of energy. She's just really fun to be around, and I love talking to her, and she's just like someone I want to be around.
Hi, this is Lauv. Engel. I'm here with Freddy of Lollapalooza.
Hey guys. I was born in Evanston, Illinois.
Oh, okay. And were your parents born there as well?
My parents were not born there. I think my mom was. She was born in Chicago, but my dad was born in Southern Illinois.
Well, what do they do?
My dad is a lawyer. He's a lawyer of like kind of tech companies, and my mom does interior design and architecture.
Oh, that's cool.
Architecture-y.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you get your creative side from?
My mom is a very creative person. My dad's always been a musician as well, and my whole family kind of has some musician roots. And my grandpa plays saxophone, and my uncle's like very into computers and codes computers for a living. And
so that's just like the mashup for like the
computers and music have always been big for me, and it kind of all just kind of mashed together. So making music on the computer really kind of made sense, and I was always just like really interested in anything I could create on the computer. I would just make a million different things just because I could make things on the computer as a kid.
Yeah. What kind of music were they playing in the house when you were growing up?
My dad liked the Rolling Stones and Modest Mouse and Sufjan Stevens and a lot of different kind of like indie rock kind of songwriter kind of style.
Yeah.
But also like jazz and you know, piano jazz, saxophone jazz, you know, bebop, all of that.
Yeah. Do you remember the first record you bought?
Yeah, Modest Mouse, Good News for People Who Love Bad News.
Do you remember who showed you that music? Like
it was my dad, yeah.
Oh.
And I remember being at my neighbor's house, and he was showing me all this like electronic music that was like, to me, I was like, this is terrible. Like good. Modest Mouse is the best. Like you have to listen to this stuff. But he's listening to like Tiesto back in the day, and it was just
actually it's the same, like kind of like what Robbie said.
Yeah, I was just kind of against it. But then I got really into like dubstep and like Rusko and Skrillex and kind of into Justice and all that. Kind of like got me into electronic music.
Yeah. Were your friends listening to that music? Is that how you found it?
One of my camp counselors at camp was listening to Rusko, and he showed me, and that kind of got me into that, and I kind of just went deep down the rabbit hole and started finding as much 2009 dubstep as I could, like London dubstep.
Were you playing instruments back then?
I played piano and drums and saxophone.
Oh.
Yeah.
How would you describe yourself back then growing up?
Kind of just did whatever I wanted to do. It's kind of the kid who like probably didn't do enough homework and just like kind of did whatever he was interested in.
Yeah.
But I was very curious, you know, about a lot of things. So I was kind of like, you know, really driven and curious to do my own things, not what other people kind of told me to do.
Other than music, what were you into?
I was into skateboarding, and I was into art. I was into like graphic design. I wanted to be a photographer for a while.
Oh.
What else? I played a lot of sports. I played soccer, and I wrestled for a while. I played baseball, and I always wanted to play football, but I was always too afraid to get into it because I started too late, and I didn't want to be like the kid on the field who didn't know, you know, this or that, didn't know how to do this play or something like that.
And do you have siblings?
I have a younger brother and an older sister.
Are they into music as well?
Yeah, they're into music. My little brother has been making music too lately.
Oh.
He's been producing it with Ableton. I kind of showed him the entryway stuff, and he's kind of started to take it and learn his own thing with it.
And was Fat Boy your first moniker?
My first name was not Fat Boy. That was like my second or third. I think first I was Scardo and Shasta, and with
How
like
old
a friend
were you?
of mine.
Was this like 11?
This was, I think I was a 6th or 7th grader.
Yeah.
But like, and then I was Swag Palace with a 9 instead of a G.
Oh my gosh.
I just thought that those two words put next to each other sounded so funny together. But I was young, very young, then Fat Boy.
What kind of music did the original Swag Palace sound like?
It was like massive. I don't know if you know what the synth massive is, but it was just a bunch of massive and kind of like pretty dubstep. I was kind of just making anything I could to just get started, like learning how to make music.
Yeah.
So,
Was Fat Boy also that type of sound, or was that a bit different?
Fat Boy kind of changed a little bit. It was more dubstep at first. I mean, I don't really count it as an artistry, but it was just kind of somewhere I put my music.
Yeah.
As like a young creator learning to make music. But it was just like me making a bunch of dubstep, and then it turned into electro and Moombaton and some Justice-y stuff.
Yeah.
But I was just kind of learning.
Yeah. Was this out on SoundCloud, or where were you putting this?
Yeah, it's out on SoundCloud.
And your high school friends see you as like the producer guy?
Yeah. I mean, I think that was like 7th grade too, so it was right before high school. High school was Louis the Child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about Robbie, kind of, that you realized that you wanted to be in a duo with him?
I mean, he was just a really nice dude, and seemed like he was driven to do the same things I was driven to do, and just liked him. And he was doing mashups and kind of DJing and getting into electronic music in the same scene that I was in, kind of same high school, and kind of just met through that and just decided we wanted to hang more and make music, and ended up being Louis the Child.
Like, why did you not think of just doing it like Fat Boy featuring like Hall Pass or something?
I was just a fan of creating new projects, and I still am, but like making a new name and creating a new artist has always been really fun for me. Like just creating something like that, creating a whole brand, and I was kind of ready to move on to something new.
Yeah.
You know, see what the next thing is.
Did you always feel like you would be in a duo?
I've always like been pretty much in a duo growing up. Like Swag Palace was a duo with me and like one of my friends. Scardo and Shasta was. But most of them was like I would be trying to like teach my friends to make music on the computer and be like, yo, it's so easy, you can just do this and this and this. And then I'd hope that they'd start learning to make music too, but then they'd just kind of like be like, I don't know if I'm serious about this.
Was like It's Strange the serious moment, or do you have like other serious moments before that you're like, okay, this is like a viable option to be Louis the Child?
Every single release we put out, we were kind of like as serious as we could be, thinking it would, you know, be our next big thing, but we kind of like look at every release in that way. Body Gold and Compass started to really take off, and that was kind of a moment where we were like, okay, we can start getting higher plays on SoundCloud and start getting our music out there, so when we play shows, people kind of know it, and we can play our own stuff, and it can be, you know, Louis the Child, not just, you know, two people DJing a bunch of music.
And actually the name itself came from, like, was it Wiki?
The name Louis the Child came from,
yeah,
Wikipedia, random article button. Just kind of, I think we clicked it like 50 or 70 times before we came up with Louis the Child.
And how do you describe, like, the original songs that you did back then?
I looked up to Madian a lot, and Justice, so it kind of started off very Madian, Justice, Complextro, kind of French electro kind of sound. Then we started like mixing it up with the Cashmere Cat kind of sound, and different sounding synths and different tempos, and now we kind of just create whatever we feel at any time, whatever rhythm, start with some sort of rhythm or groove or melody, and we kind of try to just do it in the moment, see whatever comes out, you know, without kind of looking to emulate anyone else.
How old were you when like It's Strange? Were you like 18 or 17 or how old?
When It's Strange came out, I was a senior in high school. I think that would be 18.
Yeah. Were you ever
Might have,
afraid?
I think
Yeah.
actually when I made it, I was 17.
Oh wow. Were you ever not like afraid, but like going into music kind of early? You're like, oh, like it's a huge like music industry, and I'm like still pretty young relatively.
Yeah, it's definitely something that was in the back of my mind that I was like, didn't really know exactly how we were gonna do something big, but I kind of just kept to trying to make the best music as I could, trying to just like focus on making great music and hoping that the rest of it would come along.
And what did your parents think about the whole thing?
They were very, very supportive the whole time, and they've always been like really supportive with whatever interests I have, and they always want me to do whatever I'm inspired to do.
Yeah.
They definitely, like, we fought a bit in high school and I was not doing my homework, but you know, it makes sense now.
Yeah. Did they ever like kind of pressure you to go to college?
They definitely like made sure that it was always an option for me. They definitely like put you know, made me see things in a certain way, or made sure I did certain things so that it was at least a door that I could walk through at some point if I wanted to. They were not like, this is the only path. There's nothing else you can. Yeah, and there's nothing else that'll take you to be a professional besides college. They just wanted it to be an option. Yeah.
Were you still like living with your parents at that time when all these songs were putting out, so you didn't have to find like a job or anything?
Yeah, that was something I was really lucky for, was that I didn't have to really balance my time of making money and doing music. I really used that to my advantage of kind of like having my parents' house, coming home from school, and then having, you know, 8 hours of work to make music. Now that I'm out and living on my own, I definitely see how much of a benefit that was, that I had so much time and didn't have to worry about paying for myself.
Yeah. And then after the It's Strange, what would you say were like the big milestones that happened?
I mean, playing Coachella, playing Lollapalooza. Lollapalooza was always one of the biggest dreams of mine. And then when it happened, it went by so fast that, you know,
Oof.
it's been like a year and a half or 2 years since we played now, and but it was perfect. It was the best first Lollapalooza, you know, show we could have ever played.
Yeah.
So I'm very thankful for it.
How did you realize you're ready to do your headlining tour?
Oh, no specific moment. It just kind of builds constantly going uphill. Definitely not ever a single moment where you're like, I've got this, we can do it now. After this, it's just constantly dominoes, knock down the next domino, keep rising, and, you know, hopefully it's exponential.
How did the Chainsmokers thing happen?
We were on tour with them, and just one of the nights in Champaign, Drew just, you know, asked me if I wanted to go make some music in the back of the bus. So we just kind of spent the night working on a beat. I think we spent like an hour and a half on it, or like just kind of just started an idea, and it ended up sounding like pretty final. Just kind of hanging out, making a bunch of random beats in the back of the bus, and it kind of ended up turning out to be Closer. Jam in the back of the bus turned out to be Closer.
The huge hit.
Yeah.
How did you figure out the dynamic between you and Robbie? Like, he's more of like the hype man kind of thing, or like...
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely always been more introverted, and definitely I worry about not saying the right thing on stage, but I'm definitely growing and getting more comfortable talking on the mic, and it's definitely turning into, it's, you know, like I said, constantly uphill, kind of changing. I'm definitely embracing change and growth and trying to build the show to be bigger. Our dynamic has been constantly kind of growing and changing and kind of just happening naturally.
Yeah.
I mean, the dynamic between us has changed in that he's started to make a little bit more music lately, and I'm starting to get more deep into the show and helping create that. And just our show kind of has changed in that we're kind of way more conscious of trying to really feel connected with everyone that's in the crowd, and just being very in the moment and very just free and happy.
If you had unlimited budget for a show, what would it look like? I had time to prepare.
It would be an arena show, and it'd be a huge infinite mirror box
Oh,
that
that's
me and
cool.
Robbie are inside of.
Is that kind of like the picture that Colin took of you guys?
Yeah, like
that looks so cool.
But hopefully it'd be even cooler, and like a bunch of LEDs all bouncing around inside of an infinite mirror box. That'd be cool.
Yeah. What inspired you to do the charity thing in Chicago?
Well, it was Thanksgiving, and that's like a good time to give thanks or give back or to just do something kind.
Yeah.
But and then also it's Chicago, and it's a big city with a lot of people who need food or clothes to stay warm in the winter. It's our hometown, so we like to give back.
And how did you realize it was the right moment to move to LA?
A lot of my friends were out here. We just kind of started becoming really close with Ahmad Royal and Blaze Rayleigh, and AO Beats and everyone out here. Yeah, but just the whole group and community out here that's out here and making cool music, and they're really great people. So that was the reason. And
what year was this?
We moved out last year in January.
Pretty recent.
But yeah, it felt like the right time, and LA's a more there's just a lot more going on and a lot more people that are living out here in the music industry.
Yeah.
Compared to Chicago, but Chicago will always be home.
How have you grown as a person since when you started?
More conscious of everything every single day, and I'm always trying to learn. I'm always reading and figuring out more about music and figuring out more about life and what it means to be alive, or what this weird thing is we're all living in, and kind of like just kind of self-evaluating and self-observation and reflection, and kind of learning from myself and trying to become better over time. And I feel like that's kind of changed me a lot.
What kind of books have you been reading?
I have this app called Blinkist. It turns like long books into 12 pages of the overall like big picture idea of what the book is about. So when I'm on tour, I can read like 3 books in a day basically, or get that information. And so that app is really nice. But I just love learning about like different reasons why people self-deceive, or different ways that people kind of are in their own reality and not the reality. You know what I mean? Like how they think that things are normal, but something else is reality, but they're living in some other reality in their own mind. I feel like everyone's living in a different reality in their own mind. Like if you believe in ghosts, then you are in a reality where ghosts are real, but if you don't, then you live in a reality where ghosts are absolutely not real. So like even that, just one example, is like shows you that there can be, with that one difference, there can be millions of other differences where people are in different realities. But just like learning about that is interesting to me, and like seeing specifics and kind of trying not to self-deceive or not to be in any non-reality. My perception is like 100% the most important thing for me as an artist, or as just a living person. I never in my life want to go crazy or like be, Kanye.
Are you religious?
No, I grew up Christian, but kind of just stopped believing.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that I like don't believe in God. I just don't have a reason to be like, oh yes, there is a God. But like, I'm open to it if I see it.
How did you meet your girlfriend?
We met in Chicago at Spring Awakening 3 or 4 years ago. I think. Through friends in Chicago and through my manager, and just kind of started hanging out, and I just really liked her.
Yeah.
We were just friends first, and kind of just became really close.
Yeah. What is it like, kind of just going from that and being like a touring artist? It's difficult to see each other.
It's definitely something that all musicians have to get accustomed to, and people in relationships who are musicians or touring in any way.
Yeah.
It's something you have to get used to.
What about her personality do you love about her?
She's just a ball of light, a ball of energy. She's just really fun to be around, and I love talking to her. And yeah, she's just like someone I want to be around.
What does love mean to you?
Love is completely unconditionally caring about someone, and wanting the best for them no matter what, and being there to help them in any way they need, and being an independent person doing your own thing together.
Yeah.
Being so comfortable that you don't worry about anything.
What does success look like to you?
Success is, to me, is just feeling good about what you've done or what you can do, and just being comfortable inside yourself, being okay with who you are, and feeling like you've done what you could have done, as much as you could have done so
Yeah.
far, feeling like you can do what you want to do moving forward.
What would you say have been your biggest challenges so far?
Time, not having enough time at home in the studio, or not having enough time settled in one place to really like hone in on finishing things. But now we have a lot of time to do that. Now we were on tour for like 3 months, and it's just really nice for me to be in one place making music and getting it done so that people can hear it. I feel like that's the challenge, is balance and getting the time right.
How about personally?
Personally, everyone just kind of going through, anxiety or different types of, depression or whatever, but just kind of like letting that go. I definitely am in a great place right now compared to in the past, but just kind of letting go of things and be accepting what, reality is.
Yeah. How are you learning how to deal with it?
Just letting go and accepting, nothing really matters, so just enjoy it.
Last question. What do you want to be remembered for?
Adding something good to the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much.
Yeah.